Hello, my name is Erin Ruiz, and I will be talking about 360 feedback, which is an individual intervention or assessment. So what is 360 feedback? The definition is multi-rater feedback or multi-source assessment in which feedback from an employee's subordinates, colleagues, and supervisor as well as a self-evaluation by the employee themselves is gathered. So what all this means is instead of one person like your supervisor or manager doing an employee evaluation, many sources are going to perform an evaluation. Like for instance, your peers that you work with every day. In some cases, they use customer feedback as part of this assessment. Customer feedback will be collected in many different forms. So let's dig a bit deeper and break down these four sources that will be evaluating the employee. Manager's the first piece of the puzzle. You always have someone overseeing your work. Next are your peers, all of the people you work with. And in this assessment, customers share feedback of the employee. The last source has some variation. It can either be another member of management team, maybe like your direct supervisor, or it can even be the employee grading themselves. So the company wants to know how the employee feels. So this last part is really flexible to the company's needs. So this goal of 360 feedback is to have positive change, like with the employee's attitude and performance. It also helps the employee understand what is expected of him or her. This is the time when communication between employee and management have an open platform for discussion. When this individual intervention is successful, you will notice it becomes a yearly assessment. I believe the most notable change 360 feedback has is the potential for management to change. If management gets similar feedback from each assessment, it's more likely to change within management can occur. This slide is a visual representation of what I was talking about. The employees in the middle and various forms each give the employee feedback. Now, this doesn't happen all at once. Each one is a separate feedback and combined it at the end. With 360 feedback, there are a few pros and cons. One of the pros is this allows feedback from different sources, not just one, which is great because then you have multiple sources getting together and sharing feedback. However, the con to this is the large amount of data collected after just one assessment. It can be painstaking to sort through all that data. Another pro to 360 feedback is it develops and strengthens teamwork. This is a group of people getting together and discussing one thing. While team building is ideal, a con can be some employees will only focus on the negative, and unfortunately there are times when the assessment could be filled with how poorly they're doing. Um, the last pro is how this process can eliminate discrimination. With more than one person conducting the evaluation, there's little room for bias. The last con of this individual intervention is if it's not effectively woven into existing performance plans, it can fail to add value. Yearly evaluations are stressful enough, but with 360 feedback, it really takes a bit of stress both off the employee and management staff. The opportunities the opportunities to evaluate improvement become easier with the 360 feedback process because pre and post assessments of the manager's skills, employees' attitudes, and the manager's performance are incorporated in this system. This is such a great way to really assess an employee. Thank you for listening to my presentation of 360 feedback and individual intervention. I hope everybody now understands how this is a useful tool and the inner workings of this assessment.